Hi, I'm John Milikowski, founder of Milikowski Tax Law. Today we're going to be discussing what to do when you receive an IRS audit letter, also called a Letter 6323. The letter will identify several key pieces of information that you should be aware of. It'll have the auditor's name, and the auditor is also called a revenue agent. It'll have the IRS revenue agent's name and contact information. It'll have the tax year that's under examination, and this is important so you can pull the right tax return and documents that support that tax return. Next, it'll have the issues, the initial list of issues the IRS has identified that they're going to be examining. And this is really a starting point. The IRS usually goes beyond those issues. And lastly, it'll have the taxpayer's information, the name, either you as an individual or your company. So if you have a corporation or an LLC and the company's name is listed, then that's the taxpayer that the exam is concerning. But if you have an entity, generally they will open up an audit of the company and the individual, because the income sometimes will flow through with an S Corp and an LLC. So here's some things not to do. Don't yell at your spouse or significant other. You definitely need their support during this process. It's definitely time consuming, and you do need the help of loved ones and people who have the right information that they can help resolve any questions the IRS may have. But on a serious note, definitely call a tax attorney, a qualified tax attorney. And any information and any discussions you have with the attorney are protected under the attorney-client privilege. Communications that you had with your CPA when the return was prepared or current communications will not be protected by the attorney-client privilege. And your accountant or CPA could be summoned by the IRS. Next, it's recommended that you start to gather your records, your bank statements, your merchant account statements, your PayPal accounts if you got paid by PayPal. IRS will want to confirm two main things on your return, on your business return. One is the income, and that's going to be through a bank deposit analysis. Well, IRS will go through all those deposits and estimate what the income that should have been reported on your return, and hopefully those numbers match. A lot of times they don't, because there are going to be deposits that are non-taxable and should not be income, such as insurance payments for damages, things like that, or transfers between two accounts that you might have. Next, you're going to want to gather receipts and invoices and cancel checks and credit card statements to prove not only that you paid for an expense, but you need to establish what the expense was for. So if you shopped at Office Depot and bought several $1,000s worth of office supplies, IRS doesn't know what you bought simply by seeing a charge on your credit card for Office Depot. You're going to have to provide a receipt. The receipt will show that you bought either an Apple computer or maybe you bought a TV. And if the TV is not, you can't establish it was used for business, it's going to be a personal expense and not allowed as a deduction on your tax return. Lastly, what things you do not want to do. You do not want to refuse to give IRS any information. If you fail to or refuse to give information to the IRS will get that information directly. For instance, if you don't provide bank account statements and cancel checks, IRS can summon the bank and within 30 to 45 days obtain that information anyways. Next, you don't want to modify any records. That's generally considered fraudulent, or maybe considered fraudulent conduct, and it could lead to a referral to the IRS Criminal Investigation Unit. So it's really important not only to be truthful to the IRS, but to provide accurate information, and also not to provide the wrong information, which could expand the audit. And therein lies the reason you want to call a tax attorney, to make sure that you identify what the true issues under exam, what IRS will be documents are going to need, and to make sure that the correct information is provided so that, again, the audit is not expanded to new years or different issues that the IRS was not originally looking at. I hope the information that we provided today was useful. Please come to our website and view our blogs. If you have any questions or if you're under examination, contact us. We're here to help.